What do you do with a layer cake and some contrasting fabric? Maximum color layer cakes are the best to work with to make scrappy quilts. Now, I'm going to show you the easy way, and I'm also going to show you another way that's going to add some incredible dynamic design to your next quilt. Just wait and see. Hey, Louise here, and do I have a fun quilt for you today. You know, the best way to make a scrappy design is with a very simple pattern, because then it's going to go together quickly. But the second thing is you want to incorporate a lot of color. You want to bring in some dynamic design and contrast. These blocks of layer cake fabrics are just wild. You can tell they're Fassett. I don't know what collection. A dear friend gave this to me because she said, I just don't know what to do with this. And I said, well, let me think on it and see what I can come up with. And here's what I'm doing. So if you have fabrics that are coordinated, that works best, that they carry some similar colors next to each other. And then you can pull in a contrast, and you'll notice a lot of these blocks have the black in them. And so this is going to work perfectly. Now, the part is the simple pattern. What do you do? Well, I'm telling you, one of the best ways is to go through some old quilting books and find traditional patterns. Check out the domino quilt. Oh my goodness, this block is so simple. Now, ordinarily, we are modifying this, but that's okay. We take traditional blocks and we bring them into today's world and make them work. I took my layer cakes and I cut them in half to 5 inches, and then I trimmed them down so I had a square. Now, you can use this all by itself and create a quilt pattern. Let's see, go this way. Just like this. And okay, got to get it going the right way. You know, it's sort of like a rail fence. Every other block rotates. And so essentially a domino quilt is a rail fence when you look at it. Do you see this? So what do you do when you either miscut? Okay, confession, I did. I thought I was going to go with 8.5 and decided to go with 9 and had to add a little bit extra back on. But it works, and in the long run, it's not going to be noticeable. Traditionally, this quilt was made with 3 equal pieces, so each strip was going to be the same size, and that's where it is a rail fence, but the difference is the 2 outer pieces were background, and the centerpiece was your focal print. So this was a great way to use up a lot of leftover fabrics, because this strip combined everything a quilter had in their bag they used. And then the background, again, you can go all light, all dark, whatever the case may be, pick a color, and it goes together beautifully. And you see how pretty this is, especially with all these prints, right? Well, then we can take it one step further and say, you know, I kind of like to mix it up a little. Maybe my scraps are smaller. Maybe I want to use up some other pieces. And then you can do this and you can piece them. I'm going to do both. So what I have here are the layer cakes that are large florals. And I can just cut these in half, and they're going to look great as this block here. Now, these don't have large florals. They have smaller patterns, they're multiple colors, and I don't want to cut them in a whole piece because there's just not enough of a design that coordinates with this. So instead, I'm just going to cut them in smaller strips and put 2 together, and then there we are. And look at, if we have some that don't quite fit, put a small piece on the end. That works, because when this is all put together, that is not going to be noticeable. It's just all going to blend together. Now, I do want to show you another quilt similar to this. It's a potato chip block, but it was done with this kind of a style of mix and match. And then I'm going to show you how to make this quilt. You are going to love it. I want to show you this block in progress. What I do is I just put these pieces end to end and sew them just like we do the smaller ones. Now, what's fun about this is there's a lot of seamed blocks. So these are blocks that were sewn together for something else into strips, and then I just cut those strips into the size that I needed. So we have that there. Here's another one, and you can see there's 3 pieces, but the colors just sort of all blend well together. And then here's another one with the palm trees, but you know, when it's right here, you don't really notice it. But what you do notice is the variety of the prints, the patterns, the color. It just adds so much interest. That's the point that I want to make, is when you put these together, nothing here matches. There's 3 fabrics, but they all have green. They all have sort of a creamy yellow orange. And so those colors just sort of attract each other, and it looks like they blend. It's wonderful. I love how this goes together. Perfect for leftover scrap strips that you've put together, orphan blocks, anything like that. Oh my goodness. You know, go to the remnant table. Oh my gosh, that's an old word. Does anyone even know what that is anymore? A lot of stores don't even have, what do I want to say, end of bolt cuts anymore. But when you can find them, definitely grab them, because you can put them to good use. And this is a perfect way to do it. The first thing we're going to do is make the easy blocks. And these are 10-inch squares, but I have noticed when I do my layer cakes, they're not always exactly square. So this one is just a tad over 10 inches, whereas this direction is exactly on. I want to use this direction in my favor by having a little bit extra length this way. When I cut this in half, that's going to give me a little fudge factor on my seam allowance. So if you tend to over-stitch your seam allowance, maybe take it a little wider than you should, you'll really find a benefit in this. I just do it because it gives me, like I said, it's the fudge factor, but it also allows me, if I need to, adjust things, then I have a little bit to work with. Not that that little tiny 1/8 of an inch matters a huge amount, but, every little bit counts. So the first thing I have to do is cut off 1 inch, because we're going to cut this into 5 inches. And then once these seams are taken up, this will only be 4.5 inches wide. And I need to have a square, so I have to cut this at 4.5 inches. So I'm going to align this. And I have, I don't know, about 6 layers here. So I'll use my 60 millimeter. That just tends to cut really well when you have multiple fabrics. The other thing is the precut rulers I use. I know you've heard me talk about them, and those links are down below if you're interested. I'm going to save this because, as you'll notice in some of these, I have inserted, okay, where are they? I had them here. Okay, do y'all see them? Here they are. Okay, thank you. But see, I put some little bits in here, and I tried different sizes when I was doing my first blocks, thinking, okay, do I like this? Do I like that? And, it's just a matter of what you have, but it also shows you that no matter what size you have, you can make it work, right? This is narrow. That's very narrow. These are longer. And it works well with these. It also can help you alleviate matching seams like this. There really aren't any matching seams in there. So keep in mind that you want to use everything, and this is the kind of block that you can do that with. So I've cut this at my 9 inches, and now I'm going to cut it at 5. But remember, I have that little bit of overhang, and I want that to be equal on each side. Alternatively, you can use that to cut off the points, the pinked edges. But I keep them on there. And you know what? I'm going to show you how I work with them so they too are beneficial to me as I'm quilting. Now, I cut it this way. These had the biggest flowers, and I want them to be showcased. I don't want them to be cut up. And these back here are smaller, so it doesn't matter. So I want to make sure I cut it this way so these flowers are definitely going to be prominent. But let me show you. Oh, I hope I can find one. Oh, it's going to be on these. What I found is that as I'm sewing, I think, can you see this? I need a piece of white something, some white paper right here. Okay, if you look at this, I'm going to get you up closer. Hold on one moment. If you look at this, see how those little points stick out past my fabric, my edge, my contrast background, whatever we want to call it. I let those little peaks just protrude out the littlest bit, because then I know my fabrics are lined up. Black can be hard to work with because it can be hard to see the edges, the seam allowance, etc. And I'm using gray. I promise that's not white. And that just seems to work. When I go to piece the final together, I'll put in a black bobbin. I just haven't done that yet. So that's a good way to sew these to your strips. Now that you have your pieces cut, you want to make sure you have your contrast, your trim, and this is going to go on the outside of each block, and you want them to measure 9 inches, and I cut mine at 2.5. Again, this is all variable. The only thing that is critical is that the finished piece is a square. So you need this to be 9 by 9 or whatever number. If you're using charm squares, just make them square so that all the sides are the same. So what I do is I come through, I'll cut 9 and 9, and I can get 4 of those out of each with the fabric. But I save those smaller pieces because I can join them together if I find I need some to finish, or if I, just throw that in the scrap pile. I'd rather go ahead and use those, hang on to them, and find a way to put them to good use. So this is where we are. And now we're going to start sewing, and this goes really fast. I have 42 blocks ready to go. And like I said, these are the simple ones that we just cut in half. And then I take my pieced ones and I make sure this insert, the 2 strips together, equal 5 inches. And then when I put the strips on, they're 4.5 by 9. And what I did is I just mixed them in with everything else so that as I'm sewing along, I can just tuck them in. And so I have there's no specific way that I put them together. This one was down towards the end, a lot of the smaller pieces, but it's okay. It works really well. These have longer pieces, and it's all just going to blend together and look wonderful. So the key is just put those pieces into strips, cut them into 9-inch sections, sew them together. What I did on this piece, I did it originally at 2 3/4 inches to give me enough to get that 5-inch. I would just cut it at 3 inches, and then you have plenty of room to trim, because there were a couple of them that came up a little scant. So that's your call, but you do want this finished strip before you add the black borders to be 5 inches. That way it'll equal this piece that we cut in half from a 10-inch layer cake. So we've got lots of squares, and now I'm going to put them together. I have 42 pieces, which means I'm going to have a 6 by 7 block quilt. And they finish at 8.5, and 6 times 8 is 48, plus half of that's, another 3 inches. And let's see, what do we have? 8.5 by 7 is 56, plus half of those is another 3 inches. So we've got a 50-ish by 60-ish. I can't even do that in my head real quick. But there we are. So let me put these together and show you how it looks. Oh, and look at how much I had left over. I didn't need these extra layer cakes. So there's going to be another project in my future with these wonderful colors, because I still have plenty of black left over. So we'll come up with something. Well, here's a peek at an almost finished quilt. You can see how I've chain stitched my rows together, and then I went in and I sewed 2 rows at a time, sewed them up in pairs. I just find it easier to manage that way. So I have 6 blocks by 7, and I think it's looking pretty darn awesome. Look at those colors. And of course, that black background makes such an incredible difference. What a contrast. threads everywhere, but you know, once I get it quilted and everything done, ooh, it's going to look gorgeous. Look at all that. I love the fabric. Thank you, Neva. This turned out beautiful. Check out these gorgeous, vibrant colors, and that black background just sets it off perfectly. Now, this is how you make a scrappy quilt with a super simple pattern that really stands out and catches everybody's eye. It's all about choosing your fabric and using it in the best way possible. And even better, pre-cuts can save you a lot of time, though you can definitely do this with yardage. It's just such a fun quilt to make. I enjoyed this thoroughly. I hope you did too, and I'm so glad you joined me today. It's always a pleasure to be here with you. Have a fantastic rest of your day.